I say. So now the issue is on the other hand, if we should say that it's all the Eibishter, and therefore nobody that was involved in helping the Frierdiker Rebbe would get in trouble because there is no other Eizrim, but the Eizer is the Eibishter himself. Does that mean that the people that just did it, even though they did it without any consideration just for the Eibishter, but it wasn't they doing it, the Eibishter, so then seemingly they don't get a reward because they haven't done anything. So that's why the Rebbe explains now from the other part of the Maimer, of the Maimer. Hey, thereby darf man ober bavornen. So by here we need to, however, caution. Based on the above, you could come to the conclusion as kumze nit kein schar, they don't chaz v'sholem kein schar. That God forbid they don't deserve a reward. They haven't done anything. It would seem like while that Ezer is sich misyachas nit zu say because the support, the help is not relate to them, nor to amitis emotzei v'seinoid milvadi, to Hashem's, whose true existence, einoid milvadi, he is the one, there's nothing beside him, the Eibishter, he is the one that did it, and he gets all the reward. So the people that were mishtadl shouldn't really be part of this. Aber ein HaKadosh Baruch Hu mekapeach schar kol beria. The Eibishter does not cheat and take away the reward of any creation. For sure, and it's authoritative, etc. From die alle welchem sich moiser nefesh gewährt, for all those who self-sacrificed in their bamingen in their efforts for them shichrur for Rebbe Wolosow, for the freedom, for freeing the Rebbe and his redemption. Aschorim is God grace. They have a great reward. The Eibshter doesn't take away anyone's reward, but certainly those who put in effort in freeing the Rebbe, they got a big schar. Those bavoren the Rebbe himself maimed. And this the Rebbe answers in the end of the Maimer, where in the Farish dem Loshen, where he explains the Loshen Havaya Liba Oizroi, he says Hashem Liba Oizroi as Oizroi Zainen di Berurim Hamizbaradim. Oizroi are those Berurim that become sorted out. But this is al derech ve'eshteid in Mishnah. This is similar to what it says in the Mishnah. Also ist a mitzvah können loy praklit. Von der mitzvah wird beschaffen na malach besalte. One who does a mitzvah gets one defense, a praklit. That is the mitzvah. The mitzvah creates an angel that helps him. Oich is the Rebbe derbai meisif, and he also adds that this is misbararim, and he also adds hatalmidim shenikroim bonim. Also, the students that are called sons. What does this have to do with sons? Oizroi, with talmidim, with sons, and that they're called sons. L'chayre, was parashayches had der Inyan as talmidim werden angerufen bonim. What is the connection? The idea that students are called sons to me from Havai Liba Israel. What does it have to do? But with these few words, is the Rebbe Madgish, the Rebbe emphasizes, as the Pirush from Israel bleibt gipshute, that the interpretation of my helpers remains also literally. As a Zainem Faran Israelim Rabbi, there are many helpers. Meaning also help people that are actually literally helped. The Yidden geholfen, those Yidden that helped him, was the Mitzan is a geworden Talmidim Ubono. That way they became his students and his sons. They seinen Oizroi. They became the helpers. Warum bald as a Yid hat mechira chafshis. Since a Yid has free choice, Museum Beicher gewend zu tun die Jone Hishtadlus, hasten der Israel, and they chose to do these actions of efforts that they put in. So they are called Israel. Bekommen der Fahr dem vollen Schar, and they get the full reward. The Alpha became, and still, so we're calling them Israel, the Talmidim, meaning to say that literally those who helped him, they became his students. But we just said that it wasn't them, it was the Eberstein. Alpha became is das nicht kein Stira, still, this is not a contradiction to them was schreibt in Hascholas HaMaimer. What he writes in the beginning of the Maimer as Eined Nulvadei, Barak Hu Levadu Hu Yisbarach HaBeida V'Ezerloi. And still, what he writes at the beginning of the Maimer, that there is nobody besides Hashem, and he's the only one, the creator who helps him. Vals is Havaye Li Be'Ezrei. Because Havaye is Li Be'Ezrei. We are attached in the Seif Maimer Canal, as it says at the end of the Maimer, as in the Ezrei, so leichten der Gilushem Havaye. Havaye should be by the Ezrei. Das heißt, as der Auftuer von dem Ezer, that the one who accomplishes this help is there Havaye was is made in Israel. That what is the helper? Havaye li be'Israel. It's Havaye in the helpers. What does that mean? Yeshloimer. Das ist euch der Tam, für was der Rebbe hat Magdem gewinnt, sagen der Maimer. Why he said this Maimer, Havaye li be'Israel. Part of the Maimer Baruch HaGoimel, before the Maimer Baruch HaGoimel. Weil zum allem ersten darf man bewahren. First he wants to caution. As from them Teufshik Molani, that from the good that he has caused, given to me, the Eberster, the good that he's done for the Rebbe, zol nita roiskommen an Inyan, shaloiki the boy by Zweiten, should not end up doing on things that are not proper for somebody else. Frat by Divachom sich mishtatel given, especially by those who put in effort in their Hatzola. Especially those who put an effort to save him, not only shouldn't hurt them, Kanal nor Nochmet, as his own Bakumen, the Far, the full Schar. That they should get the full reward for it. So that's why, first and foremost, he wanted to make sure that Havaye Liba Israel, that those Israel, those who literally helped also, they helped, the Havaya was there, that the Havaya was shined, that is what helped. Well, the Maimer and Albert Chilose, and then the Rebbe brings down another idea, the idea of Aniyah Rebbe Soinoid, or the Maimer in the beginning, he stellt sich auf Askolas HaKosov. Beginning, he asked on the beginning of the Pasuk, Havaya Liba Israel. Then he asks on the second part of the pasuk, I should see basically things like I should see revenge of my enemies. Why should we say? Why do we ask for seeing revenge? And then the comment is to see revenge in the enemies. It would seem that the request should have been as the Oivim Musoinus on the Sabbath that the enemies and the haters should turn into people that love and close. So why pray on the Erev B'Soinai? Now, maybe David HaMelech was praying for those who hate Hashem. So the Rebbe says, when the Rebbe is Moisif, Hagam the Chol Sinosi Shel David. So why is there a question? Because that why would he want revenge against the hater? But he's talking about those who hate Hashem. Sinos Shel David Hoyerak L'Seina Hashem. He hated those who hated Hashem. Commission Kosu Halim B'Sanecha V'Ayeh Esno. Your haters I hate, those who hate you, and I argue with those who stand up against you. So why is that so bad to ask Vaniera Besoidai? But still, Halaksiv, it says, so the Rebbe says, it says, Yitamu Chatoim in Haaretz. We still don't want sins should cease from the land. Razal, the sages of blessed memory say, Chatoim ksiv v'lo choitim, the sins should cease, but not the sinners. V'hainu shachoitim yasu tshuva. The sinners should do tshuva. So this first beginning of the Maimer, what he said, Ere Besoinei, as the Mito the Rebbe Bavorn, Nochar Inyan, he answered and he cautioned another idea, the Keshet Zayin Geula, as it is relates to his redemption, which comes before Sing Agayim. Not in Zweit, you could say, but in the other extreme. Odi Velcha, haben arrestiert dem Rebbe, und ihm verschafft Yisurim, those who arrested the Rebbe and caused him pain. Nit nor Yisuri Haguf, nor Oichu Beikir Yisuri HaNefesh. Not only physical pain, but also emotional, soul pain. Um, so, and the reason they caused him soul pain, gestört sein Avodas Hashem, they disturbed the service of the Eibers. They didn't allow for the Rebbe to serve Hashem, especially when he wasn't sitting in jail. So they are part of those who hate you, Hashem, I hate. So it would seem that the Rebbes should have hatred to them. And therefore it would be fitting as after he was victorious over them, they should have the attitude to them from literally, I will see revenge in my enemies. In a little way. Idea of revenge. Now, we're not talking about a personal revenge. The revenge of Hashem, because they hate Hashem. He says the Rebbe Shoilo, like in only Maimer. So the Rebbe rejects this in the beginning of the Maimer. As I feel this soinai, even with regards to the haters, which are part of those who hate Hashem. Go back here. Those who arrested the Rebbe and caused them pain. Not just pains physically, but also and mainly pains of the soul. Because they disrupted, they interfered with his service to Hashem. Especially when they put him into the prison, he couldn't do his service to Hashem. So they're part of those who hate you, Hashem, I hate. Therefore, it would be fitting as after the victory over them, so you should have the attitude from that I will see in my enemies revenge, literally, an inyan funekama. Idea of revenge. Now the Rebbe cautious. We're not talking about a personal revenge. Not, God forbid, a personal revenge. Nor nikmas havaya, revenge for Hashem. Because they hated Hashem. Is the Rebbe, as the Rebbe Shoylul Gleichin on the Maimer, the Rebbe rejects this in the beginning of the Maimer. As I feel this soinoi, even as it relates to the haters, in them gather for which are in the category that hate Hashem. Dar sein de bakoshe. So the request needs to be nit ere besoine kipshutei. Nor yitamu chatoim loichaitim. Even there, we shouldn't ask for the revenge on them, but we should say the sinners should cease, but not the sins should cease, but not the sinners. That the sinners should do tshuva. Und das ist der Kesher zwischen den zwei Unionen und Posik. This is the connection between the two ideas of Hashem liba oizroi v'aniere b'soinoi. B'shas man der hert, that when you sense as is ein eid mulvade v'rak hu levade hu yizborech habeiro. There's nobody besides Hashem, it's only the Eibishter is the creator. See is havaya li be'oizroi. That Hashem is in those that help me. Though the Hertman dem emes, dan the Hertman dem emes, then you also sense the truth. Also benegeya soinoi, those who hate. Those was light from them soina. The fact that you're suffering from the hater is nit vayler hot in them episakoy chas v'shalom. It's not that he has some power. God forbid. Nor kimvur barucha and igeres hakodesh. But it's explained that in Geres hakodesh. Kavayom lekalel. It's Hashem says to me. It's not his doing on his own. The Eibishter told him to curse, as we find by Shimi cursing David. Odoch b'meile kein ordnit. So, therefore, there is really no room. And this is the Rebbe Shailin and then Pirush van Vanei Rebbe Soiner, and which the Rebbe rejects to in the interpretation to actually see revenge in the enemy, because it's all Hashem, it's not them. As das soll me eurer sein. This should arouse a gefühl from the Koma Kebuvon from the Geres Kodesh dort. That this should be a feeling of revenge. As the Alter Rebbe explains the Geres HaKodesh, if everything comes from Hashem, so the Kidrin on the Kama. So these are association between the first part of the pasuk to recognize that the Eibishter is the one that is Einoid Muvadi, the one that does everything, and Hashem li be'oizrei, and the Havaya is li in the helpers. There is Taka the helpers too, but it's the Havaya li be'oizrei. Once you recognize them, then you say V'aniere b'soinei means not to take revenge in them, but even revenge for Hashem. But Ere b'soinei, to give them the level of Havaya so that they do tshuva as well. As the Rebbe will explain now, what does Ere b'soinei? What does? So we know that it doesn't mean revenge. What does it mean? Zayin, Vosba states, yeah. Der Teuchen from Vani Ere b'soinei. What does it really consist of? So the Rebbe in Seif Maimer, so he says then the Maimer, Perdei l'hagi l'bchina siriya vani ere. Vani ere, to get to the level of seeing, like to get to the level who is a chacham who can see the noilad, you get there through the opponent when there is bisoinoi is ani ere, then you come to riyah. Does haste. So what does it mean? It's not that you're taking revenge, but you're saying that the opponent makes you higher. It's not just that the ones who hate, the haters, do not bring out a feeling of revenge. But on the contrary, when you realize that the reason you come across an opponent, a hater, is this is something that comes from above, as in the Geres HaKodesh. Und der zweite is bloß a shaliach von Eibishter, and the other one is just an agent. Havaya Omar Loi Kalel, as he quoted before from the Navi. It's the Eibishter that told him. Sucht men me gefindt in dem de Heirom el Mailo. So then you search and you find the lesson, what you need to look from above. In the Regen Aveda, in your own service to Hashem. Bis be'ofen for the Iya, you can start seeing what you need to do from the fact that Hashem chanced you in a soinoi, an opponent, was that. Come to the maskone, and then you can come to the conclusion that those outs is given. The reason that you had to deal with all this negativity is kedei to the gerechen, to be able to reach a higher level in the service of Hashem. Avoida b'chinas riyah. Now you get the level of riyah. That's why the opponent is there not to take revenge on him, but to appreciate that he was there because he brings you into the level of riyah. Dafke noch dem, der Herr, the minion from Havaya Liba Israel. When we sense Havaya Liba Israel, that this Hashem is amongst the Israel, and Ani Ere B'Soinoi, get to the level of Riyah B'Tachlis and Beta Protim, both levels. Asai B'Negeya Israel, Asai B'Negeya Soinoi, whether it's those who help me and also those who hate me, is Alts an Inyan from Havaya Li. It's Hashem to me. It's all about Hashem. There's nothing besides Hashem. Then you can come in the complete that Baruch HaGoimel Chulu Shebolani Toiv. That blessed is the one who gave me, did good for me. As my Herd, as his Gomolani, that he has done for me. Gomolani, he has given me. That Kumtarov in Toiv Goli comes down in revealed good, in good that is visible and revealed. Using the language of the Rebbe, the Gam Machzika HaTorah in Mushorim U'Borchim Chol Toiv. And all those that support Torah, they too are fortunate and they are blessed. Muvarachim, the Chol Toiv with all good. This is Mesichas Yud Beis Tamuz Shabbos Parshas Bolog Tavshin Chav Vav.